Hello everybody, this is Alert Day Trading. Hope you're all having a good morning. I just wanted to journal a trade I just took. I want to make sure that I save this for my records. I also just want to remind you all that the purpose of these videos is for me to journal my trades. I do a video journal of my trades and I talk through what I was thinking, any mistakes I made, any good behaviors I made. Did I follow my plan? What could I have done differently? And so on. So in the morning, I was going over this gap up scanner on the platform I use, and I noticed GNPX. I also have these scanners down here, so it's possible it popped up down here. Eventually got onto the scanner later on. And so I start always with the 1 minute candle, and then I also use a 3 minute candle, the 1 minute time frame and the 3 minute time frame, and I also use the 5 minute time frame. I have another screen, so zoom in. Now this is a weekly chart of GNPX. The reason because if you look at the daily chart, it's no resistance, which is great, but you can see this downtrending EMA line. This is the 200 EMA, 200 period EMA. So I figured there might be some levels of resistance on a larger time frame. So I went to my weekly chart, 3 years. You can see that there is some price level that I thought could act as resistance right here. We also have this one right here. This one might be from maybe earlier. Oh, right here. There's some resistance. Hitting it twice there. And even all the way up to about almost $20. So the price was trading around $3. And when it opened up, it was about $3.17-ish. So I saw that from about $3 all the way up to almost $6 here of potential. So that looked good for me. Then I go to the 1 minute chart, and I'm trading usually a bull flag or a breakout pattern, and this is a nice bull flag here. And I ended up having my order come through the break above the red candle right here. I would have preferred maybe to get in a little bit lower to break up this candle. But the 1 minute goes by so fast, so I still stuck with my risk. So if we're looking at a break above 342, resistance levels are usually $half or full dollars, but with the potential, I saw potential of breaking above the 350 mark. So the risk was 317 below this red, actually below the EMA and the VWAP. This purple line is the VWAP. So it's almost like a double support right there. Only confirming my risk level even more. So that's risking about 25 cents in hopes to make 58 cents. So that meets my minimum requirement of 1 to 2 risk to reward. If you look at the 3-minute chart, there was no setup here. So I used the 1-minute chart to get in. And as the price broke above these levels, I'm in the trade, and I take profit every risk amount. So my risk was 25 cents. So every 25 cents I'm taking profits. So 25 cents from 342 would be 367. So I'm taking some profits here. And then I put some stop loss at break even. And since we only reached one risk level, I have a stop loss at break even and stop loss still at my original stop loss. Price never broke the EMA, which is a good sign, and continued. This would have been a good second entry, but I don't know. I didn't take it. I was holding. In my opinion, holding is just as good as buying, because it's like if you're holding a stock, it's like you're buying at that price still. You still find value. So I wasn't selling at this pullback. So we're selling out completely. I did take some profits, but price continued to push higher, and my second profit level was in the 390s area. So I was taking more profits here, and then I raised my stop loss up each time. Take profits on every risk. I raised my stop loss every risk amount. So I moved my lowest stop loss to break even, and then I moved another stop loss under about 25 cents below this take profit. So I don't think it ever got hit. So I stayed in the trade, and then zoom out a little bit. So here we are back here. This is my entry point. Take profit, hold, take profit, hold. And here's where I started to wonder if this could continue higher. And I looked at the 3-minute chart, and I didn't get in here, but I did notice this resistance at 420, and I thought as a breakout trade, it's still kind of creating a little bull flag here. Yeah, that right there. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit of a pattern right there. So I actually got back, or I added in my position, as long as the volume was still strong, and the volume you can see was kind of increasing or staying strong. So I actually got it back in the trade here at 422. Not back into, I added to my size. And then again, every other 25 cents or so, I'm taking profits, and I kept raising my stop loss. Here's the 1-minute chart. So there's that break above that 420 mark, and went all the way up to about $5. So I'm taking profits along the way, raising my stop loss. Some of my stops got hit over here, but I still had some stops down here. So I'm still holding some position in GNPX. Stock continued to break above as it broke above $5 right here. watching it, and then I actually added more as it broke back above $5 with a stop about under here. And as you know, whenever I add into a position, um, I pretty much raise all my stops into the new trade. So if I'm adding my position right here, and if let's say I never had a position before, but then this would be my stop loss level, all my position would then be stopped out over here. So I'm holding and adding, and I mean, it just worked out so great. I followed my plan. Um, my risk to reward was good. Even when I added here, I'm risking 30 cents in hopes to make up to that $6 resistance level. We went all out to 575, so that ended up being a 1 to 3 risk to reward on the last trade. And then we had this big red candle here. I ended up getting stopped out because, again, I raised my stops for every time. Um, my risk was 25 cents. I'm raising it. My stop loss up every 25 cents. I have usually a stop 25 cents from the previous uh, profit target. So let's just say 575 is a profit target. So my first stop loss would be 25 cents below, and then I would completely exit the trade 25 cents below that. So um, and that's pretty much it. If you look at the 5-minute chart, which I did not use, but I could have, looking back at this, I could have kept watch of it. This would have been the entry for the 5-minute. The only negative about this, it probably wouldn't have taken the trade because the entry would have been 472. The stop would have been below the EMA, which would have been for about 415. So that's about 60-ish cents. And the whole dollar would be about $5. So I'm risking about 60 cents, 50 cents to make possibly $3. So I'm looking more for a break above the whole dollar amount, and then as long as there's no resistance in the daily chart, we're looking for at least the $half or the whole dollar as a profit target. Here's this red line is that resistance level I drew at the beginning of the trade, and if you can see, it almost reached it, and I think the trade's over with. If volume's decreasing, I had a big red candle here. I think this would be called a bearish engulfing candle, so that's a bearish signal. So there you go. I'm trying to, if I can see any mistakes that I made, I think I can recall when I was adding. I think I might need to come up with a system of adding into trades. So, for example, should I treat it as if I never even had a position and just take the trade? Or should I take into account the amount of profits I've made? And in case it, you know, should I treat it as an isolated trade? Or should I treat it as adding to my current trade? Or create a separate system for adding into, or just treating it like any other trade. I think you want to probably treat it like any other trade, because why would you enter a trade if it's not like any other trade you would normally enter into? If the risk to reward is there, if you hadn't gotten into the move down here, but you find potential to get into the move over here, why would it matter if you already had position? The only difference, I would say, is maybe to take your original position and just combine it maybe with the share size that you already have. So if your risk is a certain amount, and then maybe your risk says, okay, take 100 shares at the moment at this price, and you're in at 50 shares already, so maybe you should only take 50 shares because you'll be at 100 shares, and then your stop loss, that would make more sense. But who knows, what if you're at 150 shares and then you look at this trade right here and your risk says only take 100 shares, so should you not take the trade? So I think you should treat it like an isolated trade. Just add in, but just raise your stop loss to that new stop loss level of the new trade. And you might get out completely, but at least you're not giving away too much of your profits in that case. So that would be something to figure out. So again, I just want to remind you all these videos are for me to journal my trades, think things through. If I can always look back, watch any videos, listen to my thought process, try to catch any mistakes I'm making, good behaviors, try to duplicate those, and learn from all of this. Just trying to improve as a trader. So this was a great trade, a great way to end the week. I don't think I'm going to take any more trades unless anything pops up at the moment. And I hope you all could possibly learn something from this video. And again, just to remind you, this is not to give you any advice. This is just for my journal process. And if you can learn something from this video, then that's great. Okay, have a good day and good luck.